you didn't really give us your 2 cents on that, but are the Browns better off today with Monken, or in hindsight, now that we know how the coaching search has come to a conclusion, would the Browns been better off just keeping Kevin Stefanski and I guess running this back for another year?
I mean, I would have, unless there was some serious internal dysfunction between Kevin and Schwartz. I mean, maybe there was. Maybe Kevin and Schwartz didn't get along. And maybe they were like, you know what, Jim, we'll get rid of Kevin and we'll try to figure out, we'll get somebody in this role. I don't know. I would personally would rather have Kevin Stefanski still be the coach. But that's just me. If given this option, like this situation, 23 days, this coaching process to find a coach, and it didn't work out with any of the young guys that you thought, I mean, I would have just kept Kevin Stefanski. Now hindsight's 2020, we know that. We'll see. We'll give Monken a chance. We'll give him a chance.
Yeah,
it just does not make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's one of them things where it's like, you look at Kevin Stefanski's track record and what he was able to do here, and at the end, it just came to a point where you felt like time had run its course. So for me, I'm not going to go back and say hindsight is 2020 because I don't know what Todd Monken is going to bring to the table. I don't know what his future will hold with the Cleveland Browns. So when I got to look at it, I got to just say, well, if I know this isn't working, I can't be afraid to let somebody go based on my fears of them not living up to what the person here did. So I got to do what's best and say, I'm going to make a clean cut. I'm about to go in a different direction, and let's make the different direction better than we had while Kevin was here. So for me, even though it's not the top name that I would have picked, I can't go back and say now, I wish I would have Kevin Stefanski because it was not working with Kevin. It wasn't working. It wasn't putting you in a position where you can have a trajectory where you can see yourself getting to a Super Bowl. So you made the move. You got a guy. And now I just have to live with it and see what's going on with that.
So the thing with, I'm texting G. Bush, by the way. I'm making his phone blow up.
Who has their phone on sound
G. Bush.
The one person I've ever...
But it's my fault because I texted him.
Jeez Louise.
I had to ask him a question.
Because you when you mute your phone, you could pick who not to mute it from. And it gives you like 5 or 6 people. So
you are high on the totem pole for him. His favorites there.
I appreciate that.
I mean, it's
you get a notification.
Yeah, people from work get notifications because they might need that. So there you go.
Anyway,
you're in mine too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't mute specific. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I forgot what we're talking about. Oh, Kevin Stefanski. Would I have stuck with him?
Yeah.
It's silly to say it, but if I had to do it over right now, as much as I wanted Stefanski gone, and I don't think he's the answer, and there was too much losing, and it was like, I feel like you hit such rock. Like, I thought they'd get one desirable candidate that would take the job, or they'd want. But the fact that, and again, I obviously could be totally wrong. Todd Monken might do a great job. Who the hell knows? But right now, the way this process went, my bet would be on Stefanski being a better coach than Todd Monken. Unfortunately, the ship has sailed.
Real quick, poll for the panel here. Will Todd Monken survive? Will he be here for 3 years?
Jeez.
By the way, 3 years would get you to the 2029 season, which is when the Dome is supposed to open.
No, 3 years would get you.
26,
if you got fired after 3 years,
8.
you would not get to the 29.
That's what I'm saying. So 2029 is 4 years from now.
Right.
So it would get you up until the year where you're going into.
I'm going to say yes.
You think he'll make it to the new Dome?
Well, I'm going to say yes because, say for instance, he doesn't have a good year this year. Next year, they'll probably be drafting highly. And if you draft highly, that means you're going to have a quarterback. So then you have a rookie quarterback. If you're drafting highly during that time period, they don't be wanting to move on from coaches after they just drafted a quarterback. So that at least gives them 2 right there. He would have to fall completely on his face if in that case scenario, because he's only been here 2 years, he would have to be 3 and something or 2 and something.
I don't know. They just fired Callahan in Tennessee after taking Cam Ward #1 overall.
But I will give
and
Jimmy
they just
credit.
fired Brian Daboll this year too.
Jimmy came off giving somebody 6 years. I mean, 3 is half of that. So I'm seeing in Jimmy that he's not willing to be as quick on the trigger. as he was before. 3 years, it's a possibility could go, but I would say yes, that he will probably be here in 3 years.
What about 4 years? When they open the dome.
He will not be the coach of the Browns.
Yeah, the question is in 2029.
When they go into the dome.
When they play week 1 at home in the dome, will Todd Monken
He will not be the head coach.
I don't think so.
He will not be the head coach.
In fact, I think he's more likely to be fired after 1 year than make it to the dome.
I totally agree.
Because if they suck this year, you have and if they blow it,
they'll have the number 1 pick.
Unless he does another brilliant draft.
It'd be hard for them to have another brilliant draft and suck to the capacity I think you're alluding to.
So then you got to fire Andrew Berry. It's enough already, and then you got to bring in a new coach.
If it's another 3 and 14
3 to 5 win season,
something like that.
Yeah.
They'll fire him after 1 year. They'll can Berry.
Right.
They'll draft Arch Manning number 1 overall.
That's right.
And they'll find a coach that wants that guy.
Right.
Or that Arch likes or whatever. They'll figure that whole thing out.
I don't know that I want. I
don't know. But I'm just telling you that's what they'll do.
Right. That I think there's a better chance he makes it 1 year than 4.
And Peyton will be your GM.
1 year is, gosh, that's, oh man. Now I will say this.
Yeah.
Now if he does come in and he overachieves, because when Kevin Stefanski came in his first year, they overachieved. What was Kevin Stefanski's record the first year he was here?
I believe 10-6, right?
Yeah. Now they had a better quarterback, at least more proven quarterback.
So they go 10-6. If he overachieves and gets, I don't know, 8 wins, 7, 8, 9 wins, I think that's going to put him in position where he's definitely going to see the dome.
If they have 8 wins or more, yes, he probably makes it to the dome. I just would heavily bet against that right now. I
don't get the sense that Todd Monken's going to be long for the turmoil that he has to endure here in Cleveland. He doesn't have any idea how bad it can get in that building.
Well, he was here for 1 year, and he was part of the turmoil by stabbing Freddie Kitchens in the back.
Correct, and I'm sure he'll do the exact same thing again. Don't you think?
Who's going to stab him in the back this time? He's
Jim
the
Schwartz?
head guy.
Jim Schwartz?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I want to be positive about it, guys. I really do. I don't want to sit here and be negative Nancy. I apologize. But it's hard not to. We've been doing this every year. Since 2011, you and I have been covering the Browns in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And every time they hire somebody, we go, well, we'll be here longer than you.
Yeah.
And we still are.
Yeah.
Not that I'm proud of that, but it's just, I wish we had a coach that could be here for 18 years.
The only person that's been here longer than us is Antonelli and Chernoff. That's it.
Yeah.
And they've been promoted. Nobody else.
Were they here in 2010?
They were, but they were, Antonelli was the GM.
Yeah.
And Mark Shapiro was the president. And I'm not sure if Chernoff was here yet by that point. Anyway. I don't know, but Antonelli was.
Aditi, friend of the show who covers not just the Browns, but all of the AFC North. So she's been around Todd Monken. Tweeted this out a second ago. I'm curious. The second part of this, I'm curious what you guys think. Aditi tweeted out, next question for the Browns. Does Jim Schwartz agree to stay in Cleveland as the DC? The org very much wanted him to, but my understanding is he never committed to do so if he wasn't chosen as the head coach. Todd Monken offered a clear offensive plan, and that ultimately won out, I'm told. Ignore the Schwartz part of this for a second. Todd Monken offered a clear offensive plan. Do you have any idea, or could you speculate? I know it's right in the moment and putting you on the spot. What do you think this offensive plan may or may not have been?
I don't know. Go ahead, G. What do you think his offensive plan is?
Would love to hear it.
That's maybe I'm turning to Dr. Manhattan. I need to be in a different place and time so I can understand.
Yeah.
It's kind of along the lines of what I said earlier when we was talking about what's going on with Jim Schwartz and why would you take an offensive guy over a defensive guy? Well, you kind of see it if you go back to Buffalo. There are times where, and Sean King, I'll steal this from him a little bit. He said, when he was watching C.J. Stroud in the playoffs, C.J. Stroud was looking wild. Like he looked like he had lost his confidence. He looked like he was seeing ghosts. And sometimes he said when you have a defensive-minded head coach, those guys don't have the ability to be a quarterback whisperer in the moment because, if he had an offensive guy, he can come up to him and calm him down, say, hey, let's get back to this. Look at your footwork. Let's figure this thing out. Get back to this. Let me call this play because you like it. Those are the things that you're trying to get from the offense. And I think one of the things that could have happened is when he came in and had his homework or had his preparation for meeting with the Cleveland Browns, I guarantee one of the first things that they asked everybody was this: what is your plan? What are your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders? What are your thoughts on Deshaun Watson? What are your thoughts on the quarterback room? And what do you think works well with their skill sets and how we can get them to be a better quarterback room in general? And can we find a guy that could be a franchise quarterback? From what it sounds like is he came in and had a clear-cut plan in terms of, this is the way I think this person needs to be developed. This is the offense that I think we should run. These are some things that I ran in college. These are some things that I ran in Baltimore that were successful. And that plan was something that the Browns, because the whole focus point when they came out and said, hey, the offense is the focal point. So I think him having a strong interview telling them exactly what they should do at the quarterback position gave them a little bit of a leg up on Jim Schwartz in terms of defense, especially if they could have already got the red light to keep Jim Schwartz. They probably felt it's the best of both worlds. Now, this all falls apart if Jim Schwartz leaves and you got to start over on that side of the football, and you might not get the same results defensively with some of your best players. So I think that's what he meant in terms of, hey, this is what I'm thinking about, and here's the plan I would have if I was the head coach and the play caller for these guys in this room.